Good morning, America. I'll be talking to you today about the death penalty repeal. But first of all, what is the death penalty? Death penalty is a punishment of execution administered to someone legally convicted of a capital crime, also known as capital punishment. Many people say that the death penalty is inhumane. Sometimes, innocent people are convicted of a felony that they did not commit, and some states waste an excessive amount of money on capital punishment. Amnesty International opposes the death penalty in all cases without exception, regardless of the nature of the crime, the characteristics of the offender, or the method used by the state to kill the prisoner. The death penalty is a violation of the right to life and the ultimate cruel, inhumane, and degrading punishment. It must be strongly stated that commending a person to the death penalty is an inhumane measure, Francis said Thursday at the conference in the Vatican, CNN reports. The Catholic Church currently allows the death penalty but says cases whereby capital punishment is deemed an absolute necessity are very rare, if not practically non-existent. U.S. Catholics are strongly divided on the issue. 43% support the death penalty, while 46% are opposed, according to a 2016 Pew Research poll. In 2006, Ukrainian national Ivan Telegas was sentenced to die for allegedly hiring someone to murder a woman in Virginia. The alleged hitman was spared the death penalty in exchange for his testimony against Ivan. Another man testified that Ivan arranged a murder in Pennsylvania, and prosecutors used the pattern to persuade jurors to give Ivan the death penalty. Years later, the man who testified about the Pennsylvania case admitted he fabricated most of his testimony against Ivan to avoid the death penalty himself. Just 5 days before Ivan was set to be executed, Governor Terry McAuliffe commuted his sentence, permanently sparing him the death penalty in the case. Ivan's attorney thanked Amnesty International activists, noting, "He is incredibly touched that people all over the world who do not even know him have been speaking out on his behalf." And it worked. Even with advances in DNA and other forensic evidence technologies, we can't be 100% sure that only the truly guilty are convicted of capital crimes. Evidence, including DNA evidence, can be manipulated. Prosecutors can still abuse their powers. We cannot ensure competent defense counsel for all defendants. The sad truth is the wrong person can be convicted of this day and age. And in cases where that conviction carries with it ultimate sensation, we must have ultimate confidence, I would say certitude, that the system is without flaw or procedure. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Our justice system shows more sympathy for criminals than it does victims. Proponents of the death penalty say it is an important tool for preserving law and order, deters crime, and costs less than life imprisonment. An inmate was sentenced to death in September 2016 after a criminal court in Tehran concluded that he had attained mental maturity at the time of the crime and understood the nature of consequences of his actions. In reaching its conclusion, the court cited opinions from Iran's State Forensic Institute attesting to his mental sanity, as well as evidence they say pointed to his efforts to conceal the crime. two ballot measured asked voters to decide whether to abolish capital punishment or to expedite the process. The online poll found 51% of voters supported Proposition 62, which would repeal it. 48% favored the other measure, Proposition 66, but more voters are undecided about it as well. California has only carried out 13 executions since the 1970s, but is nearly 750 prisoners on death row more than any other state. The debate over the repeal campaign, often centered on the billions of dollars that the state has spent on capital punishment in the recent decades. The 747 inmates on death row remain on legal limbo. There has not been an execution in the state since 2006, as the state's lethal injection protocol remains tied up in the courts. The United States remained among the top 5 executing countries in the world, but the data also showed that despite the increase in executions globally, in 2015, the U.S. was responsible for the fewest number of death sentences since 1977, the fewest executions since 1991. Those executions that did occur were isolated to just 6 states. Warning: the video you're about to watch is very disturbing for many viewers. If you don't like it, don't be afraid to open the window ahead and take your exit. Enjoy.
You have been sentenced to death for the murder of Howard Charles on May the 15th, 2003. I would like to give you the opportunity to make a statement before we proceed with your sentence.
The governor has given the authorization to proceed with the execution.
The inmate is unresponsive.
He's out?
He's down.
Okay.
So, I go.
Yeah.
Syringe 4A, Vicuronium bromide, 50 milligrams. Warden's looking in. Syringe 5A, Vicuronium bromide, 50 milligrams.
8A going in. Okay,
Closing it out. Syringe 7A, potassium chloride, 120 mil equivalents.
What's going on? It's all right, Joe. It's all right.
And the valve for the saline.
Should be unconscious.
What's going on, Mike?
Send a tissue. Dr. Vane.
Governor?
Joe.
I need a decision right now about whether to proceed with the backup chemicals.
Joe? Joe? Come down. Try to breathe. Try to breathe, Joe. Try to breathe for me. Come on. Try to breathe.